Our first keynote for today speaks to the theme, which is mobilizing collective action for systemic change, countdown to 2030. And our speaker is the Executive Director of World Connect. World Connect is a social impact organization which invests directly in the ideas of local leaders who are best positioned to drive sustaining development in their communities. The ideas have lifted the lives of over 1 million people in 1,600 plus communities worldwide. World Connect is a very active partner of the SIP program by sponsoring various projects for the SIP Fellows. Prior to joining the organization, our speaker was the Director of Program and Resource Development at the Fund for Public Health in New York, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to expanding the work of the New York City Health Department. As its first hire, she was integrally involved in all aspects of the fund's startup development growth. She has worked closely with leading scientists at the NYC Health Department to position innovative initiatives for funding, to pursue new business opportunities, and develop relationship strategies and partnerships while defining and implementing organizational policy decisions and directions. During her 8 years with the fund, she helped raise more than $250 million in public and private sector funds to support health department priorities. Prior to joining the fund, she was the Director of Programs at the Reach Community Health Foundation, the charitable giving arm of Northern Berkshire Health Systems in Massachusetts. Please welcome with me our first keynote speaker, Executive Director, World Connect, Pamela Nathenson.
Hi everyone, Pamela Nathenson from World Connect. I'm really honored to be with you today to celebrate Leap Africa's Social Innovators Awards program and conference. Even though it's virtual, we'll make it work. I had the great honor and privilege of being in Nigeria in January, and I got the chance to meet Leap Africa's illustrious and brilliant founder, Ndidi Nuneli. And I'm really honored that we've been able to work together to launch 21 Leap Africa's social innovators, and I'm looking forward to more productive and exciting work together in the future. As we explore through this conference on how to mobilize collective action for systemic change, you may wonder how we can mobilize in this really challenging time when there's lockdowns across the globe. We feel urgency, and yet we're paralyzed. Many, if not all of you, seek to tackle so many challenging problems, many of which seem to multiply by the hour. And we're all trying to fix so much that is broken to bridge our divided societies, to heal our sick, feed our hungry, see full equity and justice across the globe at long last. And yet many of us are stuck. We're stuck at home, we're stuck economically, we're stuck psychologically. Coronavirus is making us stuck, or we've been stuck for far too long because of this scourge of discrimination. So many change makers have been thwarted in their progress because of conflict, instability. So many face the intensifying effects of climate change. So many have been victims of racism, misogyny, systemic oppression. But as the late, great Chadwick Boseman said, the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. Today, we're not together in person, but we are together in purpose. For 9 years, I've led World Connect, during which time we've been able to fund 1,125 communities across 41 countries with $3.5 million US to improve health, increase education, advance economic opportunity, and protect the environment. 95% of our project leaders report achieving their goals. 85% of our projects are sustaining at 2 years out. 70% of the projects we funded were led by women. What's the secret to our success? We listen to the ideas of grassroots leaders, we trust them with direct funding, and we support them to success and often beyond. In this moment of global transformation where systems of white supremacy are being dismantled and Black-led social justice movements rising to great and more transformational heights, shifting power to grassroots local leaders of color is essential on the pathway to sustained success. My purpose today as a fierce ally is to amplify stories of leadership that can inspire us and carry us further. What I've witnessed as Executive Director of World Connect is that much of the poverty fighting and development promoting industry is operating with systems and frameworks that were built decades ago and often on colonialist pillars. Progress will require new leaders, new models, and new energy. Every day that goes by without catalyzing a young social entrepreneur is a missed opportunity. The funding community needs to listen more, talk less, fund directly, and fund with the urgency that befits the challenges we face together as a global community, and center the voices and leadership of the rising future. I am cognizant of my position as a white woman speaking here today at a conference celebrating social innovation in Africa. Today, I will share stories of triumph in the face of hardship, but these are neither my triumphs nor my hardships. I have witnessed extraordinary resilience, innovation, and collective action in the face of poverty, marginalization, and crisis. And I've seen that systemic change can come from the will to change. Where there is a will, there is a way. I offer these stories as beacons of progress to drive us forward in this time of paralysis. This past January, before the world locked down, I visited projects that World Connect funded in Nigeria, including many launched by some stellar Leap Africa social innovators. In Abuja, I met Rita Idahai, a geoscientist and social entrepreneur who, with just over $2,000 from World Connect, trained a group of women and established a workshop to make products from plastic bags, a skill that Rita learned from YouTube videos. Rita sources the plastic from a waste management facility that she built and which processes 10,000 kilograms of recyclables per month, helping Nigeria process the more than 42 million tons of solid waste the country generates annually. The women are earning 2.5 times more than they were at the start of the project, and they recently launched a mask-making operation for COVID-19 prevention. I met Tony Joy, another Leap Africa star, who worked with a group of women in Imafon and Ondo State to make soap from cocoa pots. With just under $3,000 for some startup materials, the women are making and selling the soaps, earning a minimum of $2 a day. Many of the women did not have an income previously. Many experienced domestic violence. But with their new economic power, their confidence grew, and they say they feel safer to stand up for their dignity. Tony Joy and her fellow social entrepreneurs received a second investment of $5,000 this year to produce face masks to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and to support local families in establishing backyard gardens for food security. I met Dr. Adareni Abiodun, a trained veterinarian who learned about the risks to mothers and babies during pregnancy while studying toxoplasmosis. He received a $250,000 innovation grant from Google, with which he built the prototype of his Help Mom kits, which provide a low-cost go bag, $4 per kit, for women to manage their pregnancies and deliveries should they not be able to get access to timely care. Given that Nigeria is the second largest contributor to maternal mortality in the world, this solution is essential. And we know that mothers living and thriving has compound impact on their families, increasing income, continuing education for children, improving health, and ultimately protecting the environment. With an investment of only $2,250 from World Connect, Dr. Adareni and his team trained 300 traditional birth attendants to use the kits in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, and distributed more than 500 kits to pregnant women. From our team in Malawi, we recently received a report on the progress of a water project in Nchisi, Malawi, that we launched with a first-time partner. With an investment of $3,000 to a community of subsistence farmers, this extremely water insecure community has built 4 boreholes within 2 months. A defunct hydroelectric dam in Mchesi, Malawi was just restored with a $10,000 investment. This project is being led by a 19-year-old Malawian woman who received her first ever grant. The dam will provide electricity to the entire community, including 2 schools, and service local agriculture and irrigation demands. A $10,000 investment in Korongo Health Center in Malawi will add a wing that focuses on antiretroviral treatment for HIV/AIDS. The catalyst for our work with this community was a $500 investment to advance an idea of local children to build a playground at a local health post so that children would be incentivized to show up to take their antiretrovirals. Can you imagine what these kids believe is possible now? Their playground idea brought their community a full health clinic. In Rwanda, a project sourced by our partners at Core Africa saw a $4,000 investment fix a water source. Families need only now travel 10 minutes for water, whereas before the time could be as much as 2 hours. With just $900 for computers for a teacher resource center at a secondary school in Nyamagabe, Rwanda, the school is seeing improved performance on exams and increased enrollment. This project was developed in partnership with U.S. Peace Corps volunteers. In Senegal, with $2,500, one man turned an effort to clean up trash into an environmental business, and now the company has more than 500 households paying for trash collection. His business has been replicated in 3 neighboring towns, and he leveraged tens of thousands of more in funding from the public and private sector. We also collaborated on that project with Peace Corps. Those are just a few of the extraordinary locally led development initiatives World Connect has had the privilege and the pleasure to back. I'm so proud of this work, and I hope others will recognize this success and heed our call to localize their development efforts. World Connect can do what we do thanks to a loyal and generous individual donor base that accepts the not one-size-fits-all approach to development. Our donors know that progress requires listening and patience, respect, and empathy. We are buoyed by the generous hearts of those who back us. It can be hard for many donors to step away from setting the agenda because losing control over outcomes can be scary. But what is gained in the transfer of power is greater success. At the center of every single project we fund is a beating heart of a resilient, smart, hardworking change maker. And this vision and determination is an engine. It is the engine of change. And this engine drives greater power and growth. The concept of scale is too often simplified to mean something, usually a technology, that can be widely disseminated at little cost. But we see scale in the compounding impact of project success. One success leads to another, confidence builds, others take notice and bring their own ideas and capacities, sometimes new funds, and communities build new successes together. New successful leaders apply for new grants, are spotted for new opportunities, and a culture of success and opportunity and collaboration makes its way into the DNA of communities. The evidence is there. Local innovations are successful and transformative. We need to see more multi-sector donor partnerships backing the grassroots leaders who are most invested in their own success, and fewer excuses for a lack of investment. Trust can go a long way. As we all know now, the true king behind King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, continued to inspire the lives of others while he fought for his. When I visit the communities we work with, I see the same resilience. I won't glorify resilience because it is often born out of necessity. But resilience can be instructive. In many parts of the world, you see women carrying water for miles, you see students walking to school over mountains and through traffic, you see doctors delivering babies by flashlight. During this global pandemic, we've seen people stretch even more, wearing masks and full personal protective equipment to prevent the spread of coronavirus, organizing to deliver food to the most vulnerable, parents becoming teachers, scientists working around the clock, new leaders stepping forward. The resilience that you have seen and that you know, and perhaps that you live every day, should tell you that what you dream is possible. The world needs you dreamers and your dreams now more than ever. Before coronavirus hit, many of you may have been working hard on a new innovation or a new idea to see your meetings canceled, your funding pulled, your partnerships go quiet. You may have been set back, but don't stop now. A coach in high school taught me to run harder on the uphills. When others may be getting tired and slowing down, run harder on the uphills. Now can be the time that you strategize, that you network, and that you refine your ideas and your purpose. Run harder on this uphill. Thank you to Leap Africa for organizing this important conference and for inviting me to speak. I hope we can meet again in person next time. And when we do, that you'll share your triumphs against the odds, how you surged uphill, what you built, who you lifted, and how your struggles during this challenging time shaped your purpose. Collective action, systemic change begins with you. Thank you all so much. Please stay safe and healthy. Bye.